What are 12 positive things going into 2024 according to Ed Yardeni? What's going on with Gen X and their ability to retire comfortably? How about home builders? And yes, I even have a word about coffee cups. Today's Tuesday, December 19th, and this is your daily financial news. First and foremost, folks, I hope you are enjoying as much as I am the New Investor series. There is a brand new playlist on this channel called New Investors. We recorded 2 of them yesterday. They were uploaded at 5 and 7 o'clock. First, at 5 o'clock, you had Soli, who has built a real estate portfolio out of state. She has done this since 2020. And then second, we had a lovely family. Sherry, Dragana, and Natalia was in the video for a few minutes. I do want to highlight this second interview. There was a internet lag, video lag, buffering, whatever you want to call it, between Sherry and I. I tried to work with it, but frankly, the internet lag kept changing. It went from 1 second to 3 seconds to 5 seconds. And a couple of times during that interview, it probably felt like I was interrupting Sherry. I wasn't. The internet lag was getting the best of me. So I tried. I did the best I could. But again, that was not intentional. It was simply technology letting us down once again. But that said, hopefully you enjoy the conversation with Sherry, Dragana, and Natalia. Again, they went out of state. It did not work out well. They had to sell at a loss and ultimately chose another market that they now live in. So a great conversation. I apologize for the internet lag. I wasn't being rude. Technology got me. So I did what I could. Next up, let's talk about some positive things. Ed Yardeni put out a list of 12 positives. I'm going to go through all 12. And I want you, do me a favor. I want you to listen to each one and simply say whether you agree or disagree. At the end of the 12, do me a favor in the comments below and say, hey, I agree with 9 out of 12. I agree with 3 out of 12. When I get to the end of this, I'll even do that for you right here. But again, according to Ed Yardeni, here are the 12 things that are positive heading into 2024. 1, interest rates are back to normal, right? We are at the terminal rate. I think everybody agrees that 5.25 to 5.5. This is normal. We are not at 0 interest rates, and we aren't going to, 10% or something like that. That is number 1. Number 2, consumers have purchasing power. I know a lot of people like to talk about credit cards. I know a lot of people like to talk about this. But when you really look at the consumers, a lot of them have more discretionary income because their debt is fixed. We have talked several times over the last year about the variable rate debt being very small historically, and that with fixed rate expenses, we actually have more disposable income. Number 3, households are wealthy. Now again, we know by this channel that owning assets is the key to wealth. We also know that inflation can make you rich, especially when your debt is fixed. So we have record amounts of equity. We have record amounts of net worth, lots of things going on. Again, it's not everyone. I'm not saying it's everyone. In fact, this isn't even my list. I'm simply sharing with you the 12 positives that Ed Yardeni sees. Number 4, demand for labor is strong. We have seen noticeable uptick in the participation rate. We have seen job openings. We've seen lots of things. The job market is strong. Number 5, onshoring boom is boosting capital spending. We have heard about it for a long time. Companies bringing manufacturing, quote unquote, home. It now appears that there's actually capital expenditures and frankly, what was it, Build Back Better, or I don't know, Inflation Reduction Act, or whatever it was. There's even trillions of dollars in money yet to be spent that is approved by the government. So again, it doesn't feel like onshoring has more legs. Number 6, housing is set for a recovery. Now, I'm not really sure what Ed means there. I don't know if I hope he's not talking price, because again, I'm hoping price is flat. Maybe he's talking about transactions. I'm not sure. Again, his list, not mine. But housing is set for recovery. Has to be interest rate based, I would imagine. Number 7, corporate cash flow is at a record high. Interesting. Number 8, inflation turned out to be transitory. Maybe longer than we expected, longer than we thought. But again, inflation does appear to be coming down. Number 9, high tech is boosting productivity. This is something inside the labor numbers that we get once a month that a lot of people miss, right? We talk about wages, we talk about real versus nominal, we talk about the unemployment rate, we may talk about the participation rate, but inside that report is also productivity. The American worker has become more productive. And again, if you're more productive, you can increase wages, but you don't have to have as many folks. So it's a net positive to the business. Number 10, leading indicators are mostly misleading. I thought that was kind of funny. Number 11, rest of world challenges to remain rather contained. That is wishful thinking that I think all of us would hope happens. And finally, number 12, the roaring 20s to broaden out in the market. I think he is referring to the stock market, moving from the Magnificent Seven to the Russell 2000 or S&P 500, whatever that happens to be. So again, that is Ed Yardeni's 12. Let me know how many you agree with. Is it 8 of 12? Is it 0 of 12? Let me know what you think. I don't know. I'm probably around 7 or 8 out of 12. I'm not sure I agree with all of them. I think some of them are kind of tongue-in-cheek, but I don't know. Let me know what you think. Comments below. Home builders. Wow. Do we have more evidence that rates matter? Let's talk about housing starts. As a reminder, housing starts last month were 1.32. They were expected to go up very, very little to 1.36. Folks, barn burner up 1.56 million. This is the second highest annualized number in the last year. Folks, it's November. November, rates matter. If you don't remember what November happened, rates essentially did this. They think they peaked like November 2nd or November 3rd. They came down. I think they bottomed out in November around 7.5-ish, right? They started at 8, slowly fell to 7.5. We've obviously seen a monster drop in December. Rates matter. Home builders are enjoying. The other thing that home builders like, home builder confidence has to be up. Why is that? Because if you go back and look at the last 3, 4, 5 months, home builders have been doing rate buy downs. In fact, you've heard me, I bought a brand new home. My builder bought my rate all the way down to 4.99, 30-year fixed. I would not have bought the home at 7 or 7.5%. But hey, builder, you want to kick in 20, 25 grand and buy my rate down? Go nuts. And we did that. Why do home builders like lower rates? They don't have to buy it down as much. So you are probably going to see home builder sales up, and you are going to see margins up. So here we go, folks. Hey, Ohio Real Estate Man, thank you very much. What did it say? I'll check it out later. Can I see what it said? I think you were saying the Crash Bros are talking about inventory coming as rates drop. I think that's what I saw there. Not happening. The only way we get mass inventory, in my opinion, around rates is if rates fall to 5%. Now, of course, there will be some people that sell. Fine. We are talking about the margin. I would like to ask you, given what you and I have been through the last 5 years, and certainly in the last years, What have we heard real estate after real estate agent tell us? More as rates went up, demand pulled back. As rates come down, the marginal demand is flying off the shelf. I get calls or notes almost daily, especially at price points below the median. Listings that were stale 30, 40 days, looking at price drops, suddenly multiple offers going pending. Rates matter, and there's certainly a drop from 8 to sub 7, 6 I think is what I saw yesterday. That matters, but it doesn't bring supply. If you are a potential home seller and you're not selling at 8% mortgage, you're not selling at 6.6. It gets interesting around 5. I think it becomes very interesting at 4.5. That is my opinion. Crash bros are just making stuff up because they've been wrong forever and they want to keep stealing a penny from you and your time. They have no idea what's going on. They're broke and they make money creating fear, in my opinion. So home builders like lower rates. They have to buy down less. The margins go up. They build more. It's pretty sweet to be a builder right now. How about Gen X? So if you don't know, I am not a boomer. So many of you out there have called me a boomer when you want to talk me down or say something mean. I am not a boomer, kind of right in the middle of Gen X. Gen X, my generation, estimates that we will need $1.1 million to retire comfortably. This is according to, did I write it down? I did not write it down. I apologize. It was a CNBC article. I usually write down the survey. It was a survey. The reason this is important is Gen X, my generation, is the first generation that really leaned hard on the 401k. The baby boomers, a lot of them have pensions, at least have a portion of pensions. Gen X, mainly 401ks. We are now getting to the retirement age and looking at our balances and realizing that we are going to fall short. It is estimated that the Gen X will retire with a 401k balance of $661 grand or about $450k short. Folks, this is the nightmare that I had at 30 years old. I was 30 years old. I just got my ass kicked in the stock market. It was a freaking casino. It was all my fault. I take extreme ownership. I didn't do the work. All my stupidity, it's on me. I lost 80%. And I'm like, how is this going to help me retire in 35 years? That is what brought me to Rich Dad Poor Dad. That is what set me on a path to only get 4 rentals. That was my big vision. 4. Why 4? Because by my math, if I got 4, they would be free and clear at 65. And I would have on top of my 401k something north of $1 million in equity. That was my grand vision at 30 years old. 4 rentals. I bring this up again because a lot of you, whether you're Gen Z, millennials, Gen X, even baby boomers, getting 1 or 2 cash flow rentals that your tenants pay off the debt will allow you to have more options in retirement. If you decide to go past 4 and really get on the path to financial freedom, great, but you don't have to. The idea that you need 50, 100, 200 units is crazy. If you got 4, life is better. Just think about all these Gen X folks who are going to be $450k short. Will they work longer? Maybe. Will they get a part-time job in retirement or under the table? Maybe. Will they have to live with family? Maybe. But what if they had 2, 3, or 4 rentals that they could sell off, refi, do whatever they wanted with? That would certainly cover the gap. All right, how about the middle class? I was reading an article about the middle class, wondering how the wealthy do it. And I do believe I got this one right. Yes, this is according to Brookings Institute. Brookings Institute surveyed Americans. They categorized them into 5 buckets: the bottom 20, the bottom 40, the bottom 60, the bottom 80, and of course, the top 20%. Everyone was wondering how the wealthy did it. And this is the best example I could think of. The bottom 80%, earn their wages or income by selling hours. 93% of the income earned by the bottom 80% is wages. It's the highest taxed. It's the highest taxed. You're selling little bits of your life. 93% of total income for the bottom 80% is selling an hour of your life at a time. If you go to the top 0.1%, less than 25% of their income is from selling hours. Folks, said another way, assets. Getting wealthy is not complicated. You own assets long term. How do you do it? Well, you create disposable income, increase income, lower expenses, or both. You get really, really good at something, you become elite, and you do it for a decade. It's not hard, it's not complicated. It takes sacrifice, it takes focus, it takes consistency. In fact, remember our interview with Dr. Mike, who has a PhD in health sciences or physical movement or something really complicated I know nothing about? He told us that getting wealthy and getting six-pack abs is essentially the same process, is essentially simple. You have to focus, you have to do the right things, and you have to do it over long durations. Right? There we go. All right, how about coffee cups? What the heck? My team, shout out to my team, they know who they are. They did something wonderful for me. They went out and created 2 coffee cups. They did the Do the Work coffee cup with the little one rental at a time logo. And then they actually took their drawing of me. That is me wearing the hat and one rental at a time. So I just wanted to thank them. They did this as a surprise. If you want to get these, they're on my website, onerentalatatime.com, but I will be using these from now on. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And then finally, we've got a congratulations. Patricia, congrats on your 2nd deal. We are very proud of you at One Rental at a Time. Thank you for doing the work. Congratulations. Your card is already stamped and will be in the mail shortly. Folks, lastly, the virtual event, $99. I got to be clear, not enough of you are signing up. I can't believe it. 20 hours of content, 20 millionaires, the ability to ask questions, the ability to get the recording. Let's be honest. Only a few of you are going to sit down and watch 20 hours in a row. I wouldn't do that. But I know with certainty that you are going to want to watch all of these folks. So $99 will get you the recording. Also, it'll give you options to sit in on the few that you want to attend. I'll put the link below. You got to be signing up. It is limited space. I only could get so many folks in there given my license with Zoom. So sign up now, $99. And again, as I mentioned earlier in the week, if you are going in person, either general admission or VIP, I will do what I do and give it to everyone who is already going. So a little bonus that you did not expect, looking to exceed expectations again. So Patricia, thank you very much. And I want to thank my team for getting me my new coffee cups. They know that I love coffee in the morning, so shout out to them. Guys, have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.